Then Andre saw it. The corner of Sam Fuller's mouth slowly curled into a smirk. There was no regret, no shame. Only a cold satisfaction that made Andre's stomach tighten. Sam tilted his head, studying him for a long moment before speaking.
What are you doing here, anyway?
Andre never broke eye contact. His answer came calmly, almost casually.
I came to get a grape sucker.
Sam let out a dry, mocking laugh. It echoed through the empty store.
Oh, you got jokes now, huh?
His grin widened.
Just like yo pappy.
He slowly shook his head.
I solved his problem.
His eyes narrowed.
Now it looks like I'll have to solve yours the same way.
Without warning, Sam reached behind his back. The movement was quick. He pulled a pistol from the waistband of his pants and held it loosely at his side, almost as though it were an old friend. The dull steel caught the glow from the overhead lights. Sam chuckled. The sound carried no humor, only cruelty. He lifted the pistol slightly.
You want the truth?
Sam's smile was dark and twisted.
Yeah, I killed him.
His eyes locked onto Andre's.
I'm the one who shot yo pappy.
Silence filled the store. Andre slowly glanced toward Mr. Jones, then toward the back room where the sheriff and deputy waited just beyond sight. Finally, his eyes returned to Sam. The pistol reflected a dull shimmer beneath the hanging light. For a brief moment, the entire world seemed to disappear. There was only the man with the gun, the sun, and the truth that had finally been spoken aloud. Andre didn't move. He didn't flinch. Fear had ruled his family for far too many years. It wasn't welcome anymore. Sam still had a weapon. But Andre now possessed something far more powerful: the truth. He had spent his entire life searching for it. Now it stood in front of him holding a pistol. Andre's voice remained remarkably calm.
That's it?
He took one slow breath.
That's your legacy?
His eyes briefly settled on the jar of Grape Suckers sitting on the shelf behind the counter, then back to Sam.
A grape sucker and a bullet.
The words landed harder than Andre expected. Sam's smile faded. The arrogance remained. But something else slipped into his expression. Embarrassment, even if only for a heartbeat. His jaw tightened. The confession hadn't set him free. It had exposed the prison he had been living in for decades. After a long silence, Sam spoke again. His voice carried the bitterness of a man who had never stopped trying to justify the unjustifiable.
Let me tell you about yo pappy.
He pointed with the barrel of the pistol.
He walked around like he belonged.
A crooked smile crossed his face.
Always had one of those grape suckers hanging out of his mouth, like it meant something.
He laughed quietly to himself. The memory seemed to please him.
I remember that day as clear as glass.
His eyes drifted toward the candy display.
He came in here, bought his groceries, then asked Jones to throw in the last grape sucker.
Sam shrugged.
Problem was,
He pointed at himself.
I wanted it.
He glanced toward Mr. Jones.
Jones tried to stop it.
A dismissive wave of his hand.
Parker knocked him cold before he could get involved.
Sam's face hardened again.
Yo pappy made us look weak.
He leaned forward across the counter. The pistol remained steady in his hand.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Then a chilling smile slowly returned.
So we showed him exactly what to do with that grape sucker.
The room fell silent. Sam leaned closer. His breath was stale with age. His eyes burned with the same hatred they had carried for decades.
I'd do it again.
He raised the pistol slightly, never taking his eyes off Andre.
And from the looks of it, I might just get that chance with you.
Another laugh escaped Sam. There wasn't a trace of humor in it, only arrogance and pride. It was the laugh of a man who had carried cruelty for so long that he no longer recognized it for what it was. For decades, he had never been forced to answer for what he had done. Then the laughter faded. A crushing silence settled over the old country store. It hung in the air like a storm waiting to break, pressing against every person in the room. No one moved. No one spoke. Even the old refrigerator seemed to have fallen quiet. Then, a sudden sound echoed from the back room. It was sharp. Unexpected. The noise cut through the silence like a rifle shot. Sam's smirk disappeared instantly. The confidence that had filled his face only moments earlier gave way to uncertainty. A slight tremor crossed his lips. His eyes narrowed. For the first time that night, fear found him. And behind the counter, Mr. Jones remained perfectly still. His breathing was slow, measured. His eyes never left Sam. He knew the moment had arrived. Something was about to change. Sam slowly turned his head toward the back room. Every muscle in his body tightened. The pistol remained in his hand, but for the first time, it no longer looked as though he was the one in control. The silence lasted only a heartbeat longer. Then, the door to the back room slowly swung open. Bootsteps echoed across the worn wooden floor. One, then another. Out of the shadows stepped Sheriff Lawson. His deputy followed only a pace behind, both men holding their service pistols at the ready. Neither rushed. Neither shouted. Their calm was far more intimidating than anger. Sheriff Lawson's face revealed nothing. Years in law enforcement had taught him how to separate emotion from duty. But his eyes never left Sam Fuller. Steady, unwavering, filled with quiet conviction. Sam stared in disbelief. His mouth fell open. The pistol that had seemed so powerful only moments earlier suddenly felt much heavier in his trembling hand. Sheriff Lawson stopped several feet away. His voice was calm enough to make every word unmistakably clear.
Oh. Is that so, Mr. Fuller?
The words struck harder than a shout. Sam's face drained of every trace of color. His eyes widened. His hand began to shake. For the first time that night, the fear he had spent a lifetime creating in others had finally found its way back to him. He looked from Andre to Mr. Jones, then back to the sheriff. His confidence was gone. His voice stumbled over itself.
Sheriff, I can explain.
Sheriff Lawson never blinked. Without taking his eyes off Sam, he spoke to his deputy.
Take his weapon.
The deputy stepped forward cautiously. Sam offered no resistance. His fingers slowly loosened around the pistol until it slipped from his hand. The deputy secured the weapon and stepped back. Only then did Sheriff Lawson move. He removed a pair of handcuffs from his duty belt. The sound of the ratcheting steel echoed through the silent store. Click! Click! Sheriff Lawson secured the cuffs around Sam's wrists. Then he looked him squarely in the eyes.
Save it. We heard every word.
Sam's breathing quickened. Desperation replaced arrogance.
This ain't right.
He struggled instinctively before stopping himself.
You can't just arrest me.
Sheriff Lawson's expression never changed.
We didn't arrest you because of suspicion.
He paused.
We arrested you because you confessed to a murder.
The deputy stepped beside Sam and calmly began reading him his constitutional rights. Each word echoed through the old country store with quiet finality. Behind the counter, Mr. Jones slowly lowered his head. A long, weary breath escaped his lungs. It felt as though he had been holding it for decades. The silence that had imprisoned him for so many years had finally been broken. At last. But truth belonged to everyone. Andre took one slow step forward. He looked first at Mr. Jones, then at Sheriff Lawson, and finally, his eyes settled on Sam Fuller. The older man stood handcuffed, his shoulders slumped beneath the weight of a truth he could no longer deny. Andre stopped a few feet in front of him. His voice was calm, steady, without anger. without satisfaction, only quiet certainty.
I came here looking for a sucker.
He paused. Looking directly into Sam's eyes, he gave the slightest nod.
Turns out, I got exactly what I came for.
Sam lowered his head. He couldn't meet Andre's eyes. Andre turned away. The conversation with Sam was over. He walked toward Sheriff Lawson, lowering his voice once he reached him.
Man, you surely cut that pretty close, Sheriff.
A faint smile crossed his face.
When he pulled that gun, I thought for sure you were coming through that back door.
Sheriff Lawson removed his hat and lightly brushed a layer of dust from its brim before settling it beneath one arm. A small grin appeared.
Believe me,
He glanced toward Sam.
I almost did.
He paused before continuing.
Through my experiences, once a man starts talking, he starts believing he's in control.
Lawson folded his arms.
He wants to explain himself,
He paused.
and he wants people to understand why he did what he did.
His eyes remained fixed on Sam.
That's usually when he'll tell you everything.
The sheriff slowly shook his head.
It's a strange thing.
He drew a quiet breath.
The moment a man feels safest telling his story
He paused.
is often the moment he's digging the deepest hole for himself.
He looked at Andre.
So I gave him some more rope so he could hang himself.
Another glance toward Sam.
And he gave us the confession we needed.
Sheriff Lawson placed his hat back on his head.
Sometimes good police work isn't knowing when to interrupt.
A faint smile returned.
Sometimes it's just knowing when to listen.
Behind the counter, Mr. Jones hadn't moved. His weathered hands rested lightly against the old wooden countertop. The same counter where countless conversations had taken place, where children had bought candy, where neighbors had shared news, and where one terrible secret had lived for far too many years. Slowly, he raised his eyes to Andre. There was no excitement in them, nor was there any celebration. Only the quiet exhaustion of a man who had carried someone else's burden for decades. His voice was barely above a whisper.
Andre, you did what the rest of us should have done a long time ago.
His eyes glistened.
You gave the truth a voice.
Andre held Mr. Jones's gaze. He wanted to answer. He wanted to say something worthy of the moment, but no words came. Some victories aren't celebrated. They're simply acknowledged. So Andre gave a slow nod. Sometimes, silence says everything words cannot.